Alright, hello everyone, back for hole number 5 here, another par 5. I'll probably be using a globe here just to see kind of how things work out. And I've yet to try this shot. I haven't even got a berserker win to where I can consider it. I think you can do a berserker as well. Not sure what the number is, 11 something. And that's one of the reasons that I'm going to use a globe, is to ensure 11 something. So let's see. One of the things that I'm going to try to do is I am going to try to right spin it some, try to get it as right as possible. Additionally, I'm going to try to land it, relatively centered over there. So I'm going to do kind of my usual adjustment that I'll do. I'll aim the right of the bullseye, kind of centered in the fairway. Additionally, I'll stack about 3 full bullseyes. That's typically what I do for my aim. All things considered, I'm assuming I'm going to be relatively on point with this aim, but first time you never really know for sure. It looked pretty good, it just didn't have enough gusto to get there, and there you see going in the water. So we'll regroup, try it again. My line looked pretty good. For some reason it came up short. I'm assuming it has to do with how much wind, so you might need more than 11 point something. You might need to be into the 12s for this shot to do it this way. Maybe you can do it with foam curl. So one of the things, if you were to do foam curl, for example, it usually takes off some of the bite that you get with that wind, so it'll actually fly a little bit farther sometimes. So that's a trick that I'll do to kind of edge out a couple yards from time to time. So let's see what our second wind, well, but we have plenty of wind anyway, so we'll just regroup here and we'll try similarly with a 13. We'll just regroup just so you guys can get a second version of this. Very similar, I'm going to set up the right of my bullseye, very centered, just like I just did. And, stack, and then stack again. That's a pretty standard adjustment for me. I might just go one more ring since it does have a little bit more magnitude this time with the, that means the ball's going to be in the air much longer. So going just a tiny bit extra won't be, shouldn't cost me. And here you do see that it is going very, very long and past the hole, and should be a relatively straightforward pitch there. 5.55 yardage. So all things considered, you guys are going to give yourself a good opportunity. If anything, you can see my power's too much. So a Pock 6, you're probably perfect. If you have a globe and you can get a wind in the 12s, that's probably all it's going to take. I am not going to go for this pitch. I'm just going to, I don't need the eagle. I don't know if I'm going to play expert yet. So I'm just going to forfeit out. I had no intentions of keeping this around today. So now's the point where, I really have to, make sure that I get to a low number. I'm going to let my partner here shoot, so he can at least get, a nice visual of what he's going to do. It was actually, for a great ball, that was solid. So, I'll line this up real quick, just for you guys, if you guys want to, my take on what to do here. I might use, kind of, so if this is max club, then this is going to be, roughly half club, somewhere in here. If I was to go back here, it would almost be, almost a quarter club, right about here on the fairway. So I might go about 4 rings here, probably, for an adjustment, somewhere in here. So if you wanted to see visually what I would do, that would be it right there. So, good luck if you guys, get that pitch. Hopefully you guys can get it to fall from back there. I would my recommendation is to just kind of get it just onto the front of the surface and just trickle it down. Use the adequate amount of top spin. I wouldn't do it so much off the fairway. Too much undulation and change of surface. I would just do the minimal that I can to get it right onto the front of the green, and then adjust the top spin accordingly. And you could see visually, from that distance back far in the fairway there, how much I would play the break. If you're not that far back, come in a little bit on your adjustment. So, at the very worst, I was going to burn the edge there. So it's going to be very, very tight. So, you can trust what you just saw there in terms of an adjustment. Had I hit it, I felt there was at least, minimal 50-50 chance that was going in. So it gives you a nice visual as to what you might need from the back of that fairway. And like I said, using the fairway surface might be a better line for you. So good luck there with that. Par 5, I think, all things considered, especially if I backed off, say, one more top spin, I have a putt. So it's, especially if you have a POC 6, it sets up very nice for a POC 6 and a snow globe, but it is also going to be very wind dependent. If you don't have as much wind, I'm going to recommend that you just try to do it with foam curl. And if you have so little wind, say it's an 11, you might just want to try it with, not even a hook shot, not even a slice shot, and just try to full landscape curl it, for example. So, keep that in mind. Like I said, from my experiences, the more you back off the amount that it curls on an angled wind like that, it's going to go longer. So that's kind of a trick, just to kind of edge a couple yards, in my opinion, would be, if you need to not go landscape there, you'll probably carry a little bit farther. And, same with a perfect ball. If you just go for a perfect ball, full landscape, you might not get it quite left enough, or, back right enough, I mean. But, it'll give you a good chance at least to, make sure that it carries far enough to where, you're in, hopefully, a reasonable pitching distance. So good luck there. See you guys for hole 6 coming up.